Okay, I'm a assistant director, and I work as a first assistant director, mostly in German feature films, and also as a second assistant director in international projects and TV shows that are mostly filmed in Berlin. How did I get there? Well, after university, I actually started in print media. I wanted to become a journalist, and I worked for a public relations agency. But it was, I very quickly realized it wasn't my thing. So by accident, I ran into a director who was filming in Berlin, and he just said, I can come as an intern on set. And so I came. And I was hooked immediately. I felt very, I felt very much that this is the thing I want to do. I think in 2015 I worked as a second assistant director for the TV show Homeland. It was season 5 and they were filming in Berlin the whole season, or nearly the whole season. And Homeland came to Berlin with 2 first assistant directors, and one of them was Sunday Stevens, a female assistant director, first assistant director. And she is amazing. So it was not until 2015 that I saw someone I worked for, or I worked very closely with, that really inspired me. So yeah, I think she was probably the first role model for me. It's personally really hard to have a family or working relationships if you work in the film industry. It's just the nature of how a film is made. There are crazy working hours. There are night shoots, sometimes weeks of night shoots. So you work from, let's say, 5 p.m. until 6 a.m. in the morning. And that's your work every night. And then it changes again 2 weeks after. So I think it's really hard for a partnership or for someone in a relationship to deal with this. What was the other question? Professional,
yeah.
If you're 20-something and you are in a position, let's say an assistant director, so at some point you have to tell people what to do. It's either colleagues or it's extras, but you have to communicate and tell them, okay, now we're doing this and next we're doing this. And if you're really young and a woman, sometimes you encounter disrespect or not even, or just funny faces, like, oh, okay. And I think this is unnecessary, but it happened a lot to me. So I think when nowadays not, but when I started, yes. Luckily no, but I know that female colleagues of mine experienced this. Now also sometimes, of course, heard people say something like, for this position we want a man. And I never understood the reasons, because it's not about your gender, obviously. I mean, of course, in films some work is really physical, and you have to be, electricians have to move big lights and you have to be strong. So there are very few female electricians, but they are.
Yeah.
So there's not really a single position where you would say you have to be a man for the job or a woman. Communication is key on a film set in my position, and also to be very well organized and plan ahead, always be 5 steps ahead of what's happening now. Well, obviously be in the now, but also be 5 steps ahead. Flexibility, not to go crazy if someone or if something happens that is not planned, because on a film set every day something happens that's not planned. And if you freak out because you're a control freak and you plan it like this, you lose. So you have to adapt to new situations very quickly and spontaneously, and always have a plan B. In Berlin, the people who work in film, they have a good network. So we always call each other if we are in a tricky situation, if it's about money or a contract or a union thing, or you know, even if there's a couple of big jobs going on, like big projects at the same time in Berlin, you really ran out of people. So what we do is we call each other, and I might borrow assistance from a colleague or vice versa. So I think helping each other out is really important and really helped me. The Berlin film community, if I might call it that way, was important for me. There's film universities like HFF or DFFB, and they always do like student projects, and I think you can go there actually and look on their websites for jobs, which is very low paid or not paid in the beginning. I think that's one way to do it, to just meet people or get in contact with people who work in film or who study film, and then eventually maybe they know someone. So you have to start somewhere. There's like Crew United, and there's IMDb, and there's these online platforms. I get tons of CVs of people who just randomly write me and ask for a job. And I think that's another way, you know, you just send your CV out to assistant directors or whichever department you want to work in. Definitely to have a look, to do something like an internship or an assistant to someone's assistant before this. So really to look if it's something for them, because there are lots of images that someone might have about film work of being glamorous or something. It's not. So it's you have to have a passion for this kind of atmosphere also. It's never the same each day. It's and there's people who love this kind of work, and there's people who just can't cope, and it's too stressful, and maybe it's not for them then. Or maybe there's other jobs in the industry that are okay. And,
that's stressful.
So definitely have a look first, and then if you feel that that's what you want to do, then really be persistent in your dreams and your passion, and go for it.